And there are the green bars. I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, the green bars come on, and then a while later, I come on over on the real screen. What it is, who knows? Good evening, everybody, or whenever you happen to be watching. My name's Gary, and the website is guitarorchestra.com. And tonight is our regular Sunday night meeting, and we're having wild weather fluctuations, so my guitar is in tune 1 minute and not in tune 10 minutes later. That was pretty close. Tonight we are going to be playing Book 1. The last song in Book 1 is a 4-chord song. It's way bigger than anything else in Book 1, and you can do it by the time you get there, which is kind of cool. All through the night, Sheryl Crow made a famous version of it, so we'll be doing that tonight, wrapping that up, basically wrapping up Book 1 and starting again. We never really finish Book 1. We just keep going over it and over and over it. Then we will be playing Clementine out of Book 2. And then we'll look at Deo, the Banana Boat song, definitely the hardest song in Book 2. And it's a D chord and an A chord, but boy, oh boy, getting the rhythm right is really challenging. And it's up the neck a little bit, too. Andante in G, one of Carulli's one of his very most famous pieces, and just absolutely beautiful piece of work. We're going to wrap that up this week. We will also then take a peek at Ash Grove out of Book 3. Ash Grove is another beautiful song, but kind of hard to play. And then for classical, we're getting close to finishing up the Introductory Etudes. We're going to play 24 through 28 tonight. And then in the Endless Etudes, numbers 56 and 57, which finishes up all of the ones that I have already typed in. So maybe next week we'll play all of them, from 45 to 57. We'll see how it's going. So that's the plan for tonight. Should keep us busy, and hope you all are doing well. Vic is here. She says my sound is okay, and I'm in tune. Yeah, in tune-ish, I guess. And LG is here. She's always with us, and there'll be other people joining us. My concurrent view says there's other people peeking in already, and so I have a secret tool here that tells me how many people are really watching, and then of course as the week goes on, we end up with a bunch of other folks checking the recording. If anybody's learning to play guitar, I hope that's my hope. Okay, all right. So let's get started. Yeah, we got a lot of music to get through, and I've been up since 4 a.m., so let's hope that I can stick with it and not freak out. And I'm going to move this over here. Yago is here. Good evening. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Here we go. Open up your iPads. iPads at the ready. And then we will be going over to our set list. Guitar, Book 1. Not that Book 1, this Book 1. And we're going to take a look all through the night. All right, and then since we got to flip pages, I'm going to turn on my little foot pedal, showing you all this modern technology. And I must have left it on. It's dead. Okay, so we're not going to use the foot pedal. All right, we don't need a foot pedal. We're better than that, aren't we? All right, all through the night. If you are working on chords, you can play the chords. If you are playing guitar melody, that's totally legit. You play along with me. And then, of course, my goal is always to get you guys to play tough acts. Supposed to be played 3 times through. 2 times is plenty. Why don't we do it this way? The first time through, I will use the thumb down method. And the second time through, I will use plucking method. So you can either do the same, or you can do the opposite on the tough acts. You be you. You play whatever makes you happy. Okay, this is sort of the test of Book 1, people. Row, row, row your boat is really the test of in Book 1, but this is kind of a nice way to wrap up Book 1, knowing that, hey man, I can play a real legit tune that makes me sound amazing. Okay. Oh, let's not do what I said. I forgot. This one specifies what you're supposed to do. Claw pick the first page. thumb strum the top half of the second page and then go back to claw picking. So let's do it that way. Let's follow the directions. And let's do it twice through. Okay? So from the beginning, not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 2, strum. Pluck. To the top. Keep going. I'm going to go back and replay measure 9 through 12. I goofed it up both times. Measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it's supposed to be. Goodness sakes. You know, some days it's just not happening. So that would be the end of book 1. Okay, and so how I like to teach this is I usually like to start with Frere Jacques, and then as I'm working through the other plinkety plink songs, to be mixing in the strumming book. Okay, but online I don't do that because it doesn't make sense to chop it all up like that. So in person, if you decide that, hey, I'm going to help somebody learn to play guitar, make sure you're teaching the strumming book as you are teaching the other plucking songs, so that students get a well-rounded version of this. Online, I always just do it in order. So I start with the strum book, and then Brother John and blah, 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 and straight through the pluckers. The reason is it just makes more sense when you're online, because you want to be kind of focused in on one topic. So next week we will dig into the strumming book again. And again, with the strumming book, it's A, D, E, and E in there primarily. And you're really, it's more about talking about right hand than getting the chords. They'll get the chords no matter what. But we want to talk about getting your right hand put together. And that's what the purpose of the strum book is to really not do the strumming, right? Okay, beautiful. So let's take a peek at that book real quick. So for next week, brother, where is it? Why is it not here? Here it is. So next week we will tackle just the first page of the strumming book, okay? And you guys have all been around a while, so I'm not too worried about it. But we want to be able to make an A chord, okay? And we use Frere Jacques and Three Blind Mice for that. And then we want to be able to make a D chord, okay? And we use Row, Row, Row Your Boat and Farmer in the Dell for that. And as you know, all 4 of those songs are in the main songbook. Okay, so what we're basically doing is getting them a chance to hear the song, get to know the song if they don't know the song, and then they're going to run into it in the main book. Okay, the one that's not in the main book is Lime and a Coconut, and I'm probably going to take this out of the book anyway because it's still technically under copyright. I just can't find a better song for it. So what I think I'll do is I'll take this, rewrite the words, and then that'll solve that problem. With your strum book this week, as you're thinking about just one chord songs, okay? Don't be thinking about this hand so much. Get the chord on and hold it. But we're going to be thinking about our 4 systems of strumming. Down, 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 with just with your thumb. Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques. And those of you who have Ring cameras know that that's the sound of your dog being put outside to go to the potty, and so you're supposed to silence your phones. So thumb down, okay? Then the next thing that I like to teach is the index finger up and down, okay? Down, up, down, up, down, up, and make sure that the face of your fingernail is pointed toward the floor. I get a lot of students when they first start, they think they're supposed to go sideways for some reason, and so their fingernail will be pointed up here, and they get stuck in the strings. So fingernail down toward the earth, down, up, down, up. Notice most of the activity is happening in the finger itself. Okay, and so that's definitely the way number 2. That's how you play when you have a pick, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then the third way is 4 finger claw all plucked together. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. With that, I'm looking at thumb going down and these 3 fingers coming up at the same time. Okay. And then the other thing here, when you're teaching somebody, make sure their hands are not stacked up on top of each other like this. You get this, and then they try to do this or do this, right? So they got to have it at a 45-degree angle along the front of the soundboard. That way the fingers don't run into each other. When you've been playing a while, you don't think about this anymore. But when you first start, it's really, really not intuitive that you're supposed to do that. And so thumb out, and then this. Those of you who know lute players do it the opposite way. The thumb is actually inside of your palm, and then these fingers come up. I've never, ever been able to do it. But lute originally was played this way, and the people who try it in the universities who try to do it exactly like they used to do it have to learn how to do this thumb into your palm system. But that's hogwash for modern performers. You should be doing this for sure. And then the 4th way to play is thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Morning bells are ringing. Morning bells are ringing. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. Okay, so what you're wanting to do when we first start playing guitar is we want to do this right away. But there's 4 main ways of attacking the strings, and you want to be able to master them all. That's why we use 1 chord songs for that, so you don't have to think about what's going on over here, and you can stay focused in on this over here. I think most of you will remember when you started doing arpeggio plucking that first day in arpeggio plucking was pretty hard, right? Because your fingers are not used to doing that activity, and you're like, well, Gary makes it look so smooth. Why can't I do that? Well, because your fingers have never done it before, and fingers like to fight back. Okay, so next week we'll cover the 1-chord songs, and then of course the week after that is 2-chord songs. The week after that is 3-chord songs. We don't do the 4-chord songs in this book, only because your 4th chord, F sharp minor, right? As you know, that's not for the first couple weeks. That's not for the first while in guitar. And so I always show people that. I say, here it is. You can work on it or not, but F sharp minor is one of those songs. It's better to have your bars in place before you tackle it very hard. Okay, so this week, take a look at your right hand in the strumming in the key of A, just the 1-chord songs, and then next week we'll run through them all in more detail. All right, book 2. Let's go grab. Where are we at in book 2? Oh, Clementine. Yeah, let's take a look at that. All right, so my schedule's been a little insane down here, so I haven't gotten these updated yet. I will get them updated, and I apologize that I don't have them done already, but it takes several hours to update each sheet, and there's a lot of sheets to update. Just know it's coming. All these versions work perfectly good. They're just not as pretty as the new ones. All right, so Clementine in 3. Remember, you're going to count in 2. 1, 2. In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a E7 mine, dwelt a mine minor. You got Pinky there. Minor 49er and his daughter Clementine. And then how many verses does this thing have? 8 verses. That's 7 too many, but the lyrics are actually pretty funny, and so I think I talked about last week that it turns out the narrator's a bit of a piece of work. This is a nice song coming out of book 1 because the entire thing is in either fret 0, 1, 2, or 3, and well, all of them actually. There's a couple of 1s in here as well, and so the only note you have to get to is the 5 at the very end, right? Which is really nice for when you're, getting up and running and feeling comfortable with this whole process. So let's play it through 2 times. That's plenty for us. And let's play, hopefully you're playing tough guitar. And if you're not, then play melody or chords, obviously, duh. And let's see what we come up with. I think what I'll do is pluck it the first time through and then strum it the second time through. 1, 2. Start with you are 1, 2. To the top. Famous bar with a pinky chord over here. That's going to come up on lots and lots and lots of songs at the last chord. Okay, this is an A here, it's a B here, it's a C up here, right? D right here, E. Right, so it's going to come up a lot, and a pretty handy piece of knowledge to have, that you're just basically playing your G chord without the top and with a bar on it, and you're gonna use it in different locations on the fretboard. Not as easy of a song to play as I wish it was, and I think it's a good arrangement. I think it really evokes the idea of the song. I also think when we sing it kind of fast and silly. I think when you play it, if you play it slow, it's kind of an homage to Clementine. She's dead. She died poor too, so we want to treat her with respect. All right, let's run over to Banana Boat Song. This one's way tougher. Okay, and I know next week when I'm getting ready to play it with you guys, I'm going to have to sit down an hour in advance and get my chops up on this one, because it's super, super hard. And if you don't know it, hopefully you do, but you got to go to the YouTube. You got to go to YouTube and you got to type in Harry Belafonte Deo, because you want to see what made the song famous was Harry Belafonte. And when you see it, he's in the 50s, and he's singing a person of color with no shirt on, right? So this is super dangerous for the 50s, and boy, he was wildly popular, and he was a great singer and a really cool dude. I think, I don't know, you don't know anymore what to think about people, but he seemed like a great guy, and I think we know this song because he did it, and it's really fun to watch that old video. You're like, wow, that's a lot of horsepower for 1950. Banana Boat Song, getting it, the timing is right, and everybody sings it a little bit differently, so we're going to do the one on this page, okay? Day-o, day-o, daylight come and me wanna go home, or home, day-o, day-o, daylight come and me wanna go home. Okay, that chord switch right there in the middle of measure 8 can be pretty challenging if you're not ready for it, because you get kind of comfortable with one chord per measure, but that's a change right in the middle. Daylight come and me wanna go home. So it happens right in the middle. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Hey, and I changed chord there, and I shouldn't. Wanna go home, home. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. So you do change the chord in the middle of 16, but beware, you'll probably do exactly what I did, which is change the chord in measure 12, and you don't want to do that because it sounds weird. And then at 17, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Okay, look at that, it's a 10. Okay, daylight come and me wanna go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Again, at measure 20, your body's gonna want to change chords there real bad, and don't do it. My only note on this is at measure 25. I have it arranged as 0, 2, 3 in the tough uke. It's going to sound better if you drop in a high D chord, the 10. 7, 7, 7, 10. Yeah, 7, 7, 7, 10. Right? G, A, B, C, D. How about this one? 7, 7, 7, 10. 7. We'll play it one time just to make sure I'm right. 7, 7, 7, 10 should be D chord. It is. 7, 7, 7, 10. Okay, that'll sound fancier at the end. Let's play through the melody real quick, just so we're sure you got it right. You got a 4 in here. A 4 on 4, we talk about all the time. That pinky, that has to be your pinky on the 4th string of the 4th fret. It has to be that. And you're not going to like it for about 6 months of doing it. So just know that that's going to happen to you. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Day-o, 3, 2, 0, 2, 4. 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, 5. And right there's a great place where I stuck my index finger in 2 because I saw the 5 coming, and I dropped my pinky up there. Okay, now go on to measure 5. 3, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, 4. 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 0, 3, 0, 3. Okay, index finger on the 2. 2, 5, 5, 2, 2, 5. 3, 3, 3, 0, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, 5. 2, 5, 5, 2, 2, 5. 3, 3, 3, 0, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3. 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 5, 10. Okay, and I'd slide up if you can. Okay, just because that sounds pretty cool. Whoops. Right there. And then go on. 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, 5. Measure 21. 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 5, 10. 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3. Okay, get somebody to play the chords with you on that. It'll be a blast, right? All right, and then let's speak really quickly at the tough acts. Put your D chord on, of course, always. First string, first. What you know what I'm about to say. Put your chord on. Okay, chord. Oh, so you don't have to move anything. Just pick 3 strings and 2 strings, and then 3, and now you got to get to that 2. I'm probably going to put my middle finger up there. 2, 0, 2, 4. That leaves my pinky available to get up to that 4, and then back to the D chord. A chord, bum, pinky, oh, little bar here. So the hard part here, you got to cover all those strings, 4 strings, right? Leave the 5th string open, and you got to get your pinky up here. Okay, so make sure that you got to get all the way up there. This is when your guitar's too big, right? Okay, and now let's go on from there. Measure 5, back to the D chord. Basically the same as previously, and now we at measure 9 we get a new idea. Okay, and so you got a couple choices here. You really do have to have your real D chord on here, and so if you can reach up without letting the D chord off, it's better. But if you can't, just pull the chord off, slide it up with you to get the 5, right? And so just make sure you're plucking only the string you need for the melody. And then we go back to this bar chord here. And probably just do a regular A chord here. And back at measure 11, back to the D chord. Page 2. And then put your bar on. A chord or your D chord. Okay. That sounds really nice. Okay, and then in major 17, we got yet another idea. And then what I do here is 10, 10, 11. So I'm putting a little mini bar on 10, grab the 11. Now you could also do a bar on 7 and a pinky on 10. So either of those chord, I think this one's more fun because it's real high, and that's the one high note in the song. So 11, 10, 10, or 7, 7, 7, 10. Vic says, I can actually do this stuff now. Of course you can, Vic. You've been focused on this for a long time. The cool part about going back and doing book 2 songs is, like, a lot of times I have you guys, I keep throwing more and more and more and more at you, and it doesn't hurt once in a while. Go back to the stuff that you used to struggle with and be like, I don't know what I struggled with in the past, right? All right, so you got 11, 10, 10, that's what's written, but I know that 7, 7, 7, 10 also works. Okay, a little fuller sound, but maybe not quite as exciting. Okay, and then go back to measure 19, D chord again. Okay, back to your D chord. D chord down here. Wrap it up, 7, 7, 7, 10. Okay, or you can do 10, 10, 11. Either of those makes perfect sense. So that's the only change in the sheet music that I want you to do, is either 7, 7, 7, 10 or 11, 10, 10. Either of those is perfectly fine. All right, so quite a bit harder song, but you get to go up and down just a little bit. But again, with this one, getting the rhythm is right. And so I know for sure I've goofed this up plenty of times. And so you want to, before we get to class next week, practice for a few minutes on this particular song. Yeah, it's book 2, but boy, it's a legitimate piece of music. All right, lovely. Let's go take a look at book 3, and let's go grab Andante in G, and let's put our game face on. We want this to go well. This is a beautiful piece of music. It is worth memorizing. It's that good. Okay, and for many years I had it memorized, and now I don't play it as much, and who knows if it's going to go well. Okay, so let's hope. From the top, 1. It's hard to count this in because they're in 16th notes, and so I have to count very slowly to get you in at the right speed. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and go. Okay, so I think that's about right. So I'll do 1, 2, ready, go. 5. I mean, you can't beat that, right? That's brilliant. It's just brilliant songwriting, and it's just G chord, A minor, and D7. I mean, honestly, is there a C chord in there? There's a C chord in there. Nothing, right? It's all hard. It's all very hard. But man, oh man, that just thing flows just like butter. It's an absolutely beautiful piece. If you didn't spend enough time on it this week, spend some more time on it. Play it for every day for the next year, and you'll end up with this thing. And typically, when you see this played by college students, they play it way faster than that, and you're like, I don't know if you should play that way faster than that. That is beautiful. All right, and sadly, then we cast it on, and we'll be back to see it here in 30 weeks or so. And let's go take a peek at Ash Grove. All right. Again, I haven't updated Ash Grove, and I will. A couple of notes on here. If you go down on Ash Grove to measure 12, I originally wrote this A7 with this 2-finger deal here, which is perfectly fine. But you can also just do a bar on the 2 and then the 3 on the first string. I don't know. I changed it because I think this actually fits the song better, this little bar, even though it's a tiny bit harder to do. I kind of like the sound better there, so maybe think about changing that to a bar here at 12. So it'd be 0, 2, 2, 2, 3 is what it should be, or what I'm going to try to play. And then again at the end, measure 19. I gave you 10, 10, 10, 11, 12, which is this one. Right? Okay. But it's easier to play a 7, 7, 7, 10. Okay, so again, that little bar that we talk about is coming up all the time, guys. A bar on 7 and a pinky up on 10. That's also a D chord. So either of those, whichever one makes you feel cooler. This is from my rock and roll days, right? And then, yeah. All right. So Ash Grove is, the biggest challenge with Ash Grove is reading the repeats, honestly. Play 1 through 8, go back to 1. Play 1 through 7, jump to 9, play 9 all the way down to 17, and then at 17 you're going to go back to number 1, play down through 7, and then jump to 18 and 19. Okay, so I have the repeat map up above there on the upper left hand corner of your first page. It shows you what the repeats are. This is back in the olden times, they actually had a cleaner system for this, but you had to know what was going on. You had to count it a little bit differently. In modern times, these are how we do the repeats these days, but it requires codas and it's a tiny bit confusing. But it keeps it down to 2 pages, right? So that's not bad. I changed the chords because the original song is about an ash grove, and honestly, not that exciting. But let me give you the tough acts, because I know most of you will dive straight into that. Chords here are not overwhelming. They got an E minor, which may be new to some of you, and a B minor. That's your bar up there on 15, and it's worth practicing B minor. Now, pay attention. A minor is here, right? Okay. Bar, add a bar, slide it up 1, bar is A sharp, and slide it up to 2, bar, and you don't even need to bar all the way up, really, if you don't want to. Just don't play those, right? Bar, A minor shape in front, B minor. Okay, and it's going to come up because C minor is right here, and D minor is right here. So those will come up in different arrangements that we work on, and so just getting comfortable with, hey, I'm just making an A minor, and then putting a bar behind it. Okay, so that comes up a lot, and that's a book 3 chord shape for sure. Let's talk tough acts really quick. Put your D chord on. I played my 5-3, you lovely guitar for E minor. I've been doing a strum here. 1 minute every day. Now here's another place where I think I'm just going to do, even though the chord's an A7, I think I'm just going to hold an A chord there instead of 0-2-0-2. I think I'm going to hold 0-2-2-2. The chord is A7, but from a fingerstyle standpoint, we don't care about that overly. We care about the melody. Dun, dun, and it just feels easier just to have. If you want to hit your index and ring finger there, bum, bum, and then add your middle finger, it works as well. But I don't know if there's enough juice in the squeeze to play an actual A7 and then add the pinky, where you could just play a regular A chord. I think you get mostly the same thing, same idea. And then hit 2 D chord. Made everybody cry with my A7 is really an A chord. Beautiful tones, right? Or tones. And then you would repeat, go to the top, ready, go. What about this? To 9. Okay, now this gets a little dicey here. Okay, you got your D chord on, but you're going to have to stretch it out, so you might as well just do it early. Ring finger up to the 5. And look at what a mess this is, but just find your low note. That's where you put your index finger, and then wrap your 5s around it. Sorry. Okay, so this is a super weirdo E minor. It's an E minor chord, but it got an A in the melody. Okay, that's not part of that chord usually. So you're gonna have to reach back to get that 3. I think it's a very weird moment. But I think it works, right? And so it'll take you a little bit to get that comfy with that. Think of it as your D7 shape on the strings right up above. Slide it up to 4 and add your pinky. And then with your index finger, reach back, grab that 3. And then here's the place you put your bar. Replace your index finger with your ring finger, put the bar. And then lose everybody. Here's this B minor. Whoops. Bar up, bar back down. Middle finger. And then go on to page 2. Terrible place for a page break, right? I'll fix that in the next version. Lose the bar. Your middle finger's already on 3, so don't do anything there. And then this, I do like the regular A7. Notice my middle finger can trace down into the 2nd fret, and then I just add my index finger. A little tremolo. Bar. Okay, bum, bum. And then now at the end of 17, go back to number 1. Okay, and we'll play through that. So I play my evil guitar for big crowds up there at Red Rocks, and I am so gosh darn those, and then jump all the way to 18. Me, yes, they do. Okay, so silly, but the idea, if you want to go look up the original words, you can. They're not as good as these ones, and yeah. So work on that this week. Pretty challenging in a couple of places. Definitely, as you feel that thing coming together, you're going to fall in love with the melody. You really are. So play the melody a few times through if you don't know it. Listen to the MP3 on the website. That's also super helpful. And then give this thing a whirl. Paying attention to your repeats. That's kind of the hard part here. Okay, I think you're going to do great with that. We got plenty of time for the Sagreras stuff. By the way, here's what's kind of cool. On Sagreras, the Introductory Études. So let's go grab Sagreras, the easy book, right? The book where you're supposed to be learning how to play guitar. Sagreras, the Intro Études. Books number 1 through 45. I'm going to change the name of that so it's easier to find. Tonight we're playing 24 through 28. So that's on page 6. And we're playing measures 233 through 279. Okay, what you'll see here is the top of that scale, low C to high G. So we're playing a pretty big scale in the measure 24. Etude number 24, and then look what happens. And then we drop down to 25 into the low notes. Okay, and the handiest thing I learned in all of guitar school was if you need a G, it's going to have 2 ledger lines and a dot below. Right, so there's a G. Okay, that's that note. Wrong. Right, and so memorize that. If there's 2 ledger lines and a dot, that's a G. If there's 3 ledger lines and a dot, that's your E. Okay, and it was really, really handy to memorize those 2 notes out of all of the notes that you can memorize, so that you can quickly orient yourself on the bass line. 2 ledger lines, 3 ledger lines, right? And then you'll also notice when you have the 4th ledger line, then you're in drop D tuning. Okay, so those are kind of things that I think are handy to know. We're about to wrap up this book too, right? So we got about a few weeks left in it. And then, oh yeah, because there's a couple of arpeggio studies in 44 and 45. But the cool part is, on the other book, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. Let's just play these first. Okay, so 24 through 28. So measures 233. Okay, and then I will say the numbers, and hopefully I'll hit them correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. 3, 3, 3, 3. 1, 2, here we go. 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, let's do the next one. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, speed it up. 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, keep going. And 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. finish. 3, 2. Okay, boom. Got it on top of the fret. So not exciting stuff to work on, but I noticed as I was playing just a little bit, my index fingers are starting to do the thing they're supposed to do. Started off with my thumb, right, being very incorrect in form, and then finally figure, oh, just do this and you'll be fine. It really is going to help you. This is going to be a thing in your life if you're a guitarist. So keeping index and middle supple and doing the best job you can with those is never going to be bad. You're never going to waste time working on that. The other thing, remember when you're playing these notes, it's probably a good idea to say the names of the notes out loud rather than the numbers, so that you can start associating the place on the scale, on the standard notation, with the actual note name. You'll always get tabs from me, but the rest of the world has not come around onto that idea. They are of the notion that things were correct back in 1840. All right, then let's take a look at the etude, the endless etude, and we're going to number 56 tonight, which is on page. I don't have the most recent one on my book. God darn it! Hold on. Harmon, there's guitar. Let's see it reload. All right, and here, share. And 56 and 57. Okay, so here's my thought. Okay, we've now played 8 pages of this thing. So next week, I'm going to put that we're going to play the whole thing. Okay, so we won't do all the repeats. We'll play 46 through 56. 7. So we'll play 46 through 57 next week. So we'll play this whole book. Okay, and then I think we'll toss in a few Carullis and a few other things, and then we'll keep moving forward on this book. But I think it would be fun, now that we have 8 pages of music, to play it kind of straight through and see how we do. Hopefully that'll be fun. It might be a disaster, but we don't know. All right. Accent notes use the rest stroke. Okay, so accented notes. What he's telling us here is the high notes accented. That's almost always true. So I don't know if we need to work on it that hard. But look at what's going on here in 56. Right, so that's what he's asking for. Ba, da, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, and then look what he's doing here. Bum, bum. Okay, so that G7, we tend to think of this shape G7 as. But the thing that we don't know this is something we do as fingerstyle players. What we don't spend a lot of time is what classical guitar players know. There's an F right here, and that also makes the 7 of the G chord. And so that's what he's got that. So that 3 right there is what's going to turn that into a G7. All right, that's kind of hard. So let's see what we can come up with here. Get your C chord on and see if that helps. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's too slow. Let's go a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Same thing again. Keep going. So let's go back and do it again. Mess that up pretty good. From 50, measure, what are we on? Measure 90. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start again from measure 90. 1, 2, 3. Where is it? Oh gosh, that ending is tough. And again, those two notes there are just to drive you into the next section. Let's play that one more time. I think we've got just a few more minutes left. Let's see if Gary can get it right. You're probably playing it perfectly at home. 1 from measure 90. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. That's closer. And then measure 57. It's also in 3. Let's see how this one sounds. A similar pattern, right? Bum, 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 or bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's see what we can come up with. Grab your C chord again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God, Gary. Grab your C chord. 1, 2, 3. Really pretty. Keep going. Oh, I should actually play that. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, back to the measure 106. Go. Isn't that beautiful? So both of those are kind of hard to play, and getting the rhythm. Eventually, I got it right. Bum 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 bum, and then keeping an eye out for where your straight quarter notes are in 107, 115, and 117. You got to keep your eye out for those. But I think if you could play that page without the mess ups like I'm playing it, you'd have a really nice etude there. And now you're up to a whole bunch of etudes. Okay, so next week, okay, practice just this book here, from etude number 46 through etude number 57. We'll try to play the whole entire thing, no repeats, just straight through. And when we mess up, we'll mess up. Okay, we'll see what happens. It should be kind of fun. All right, guys, thanks for being here. I hope you are inspired to keep plucking away at these darn things. They are super hard and super like ugh, but it's worth it in the long run. I think. I don't know. Some days it's worth it. Some days it's not worth it. But most days it's worth it. And I will see y'all next Monday night. And have a wonderful week. We're supposed to hit 80 this week, so I'm gonna get out the, I don't know, I wear the same thing every day, so I'm not changing clothes, but yeah, have a good evening. Peace.